Welcome back to Bay Area Focus. Having a child can be very stressful and a daunting time in your life. Well, our next guest is here to help us out. Gaddis is the author of Feng Shui Mommy and a childbirth preparation educator, and she is sitting down with us now to discuss her journey. I'm so glad you're here.
I'm excited to be here.
I have 3 kids. I need to figure this all out.
Well, let's do it together. Let's do it together.
Right? Okay, first of all, Feng Shui Mommy. Describe what Feng Shui is and what does it have to do with being a mommy?
Good question. So to put it really simply, Feng Shui is the ancient Chinese philosophy of harmonizing humans with our surrounding environment.
Okay.
But I thought, okay, well, that's nice to have our surrounding environment harmonized, but what about our inner environment, our mind, our body, and our spirit? So that's how I started to craft the book, is with that in mind.
Okay, so that kind of inspired you to write this book. What kind of journey were you going through at the time where you said, I need to write this all down?
I was crying with my 4-month-old at about 3 a.m. and thinking, okay, if I had this wise woman in front of me, what would I want her to tell me? And so while I was crying, I just wrote it down. I'm like, I don't have that woman with me right now, so I'm going to be her. And once I started teaching classes, I showed those notes to clients, and they said, yeah, we like this, and we would like more. So I started working on the proposal.
Talk about the crying, though, because we've all been there. We've all done it. I have 3 kids, so trust me, I've gone through it. A lot of it is sleep deprivation and stress, and am I ever going to get back to normal, right?
Yeah, exactly. I felt overwhelmed. I felt like I didn't know what I was doing. I felt like I had read all of the books, but I wasn't in tune with my intuition, and I didn't feel empowered to trust that intuition.
Okay, so your book includes sections about 4 trimesters, but
yes.
Aren't there 3?
I know somebody asked, can you count? I'm like, no, I can. The 4th trimester is the first 3 months of baby's life outside of the womb, which is the hardest for a lot of moms, actually.
Sure. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about that one then, the 4th one.
Right. So there are certain things that we can do to make that 4th trimester a little bit easier, because the mom is so overwhelmed. When she's pregnant, she can just take care of herself, really, and the baby's taken care of. But now she's needing to meet her own needs and the baby's. So one of the big things that she can start doing is separating from the child's emotions, which is so hard. When our child is crying, we feel like we want to cry, right? When they're irritated, we get a little bit irritated. And so something that I do and I have clients do is, when your child is really upset, just take a deep breath, and as you exhale, envision this golden shield surrounding you, and set the intention that that protects you from taking on those emotions.
Okay, that's very interesting. So I think this is interesting too. You are a certified hypnotherapist?
Yes.
Okay, so describe the connection between hypnotherapy and pregnancy.
Yeah, so I am certified to teach hypnobirthing, and a big aspect of that is hypnosis. And so it's the mind-body connection, and that is so crucial during childbirth specifically, because what our mind is saying is feeding messages down to our body. So if we're thinking, this is the most painful thing ever, and I hate this, then our body is saying, okay, I'll respond with pain and with struggle. And so with hypnosis, it's about reprogramming those messages so our body has hopefully a slightly more pleasant experience. And then, of course, that carries over into motherhood. You know, if we're feeding ourselves really positive messages, we have a more positive experience.
But you really have to put your mind in some way, because it is painful.
Yes.
And when you're in the throes of it, it can be a little difficult to be calm.
Yes. So we do a lot of practice.
Okay.
And I work with clients, every week, almost every day sometimes, to reprogram their mind.
Okay, and that's the best way to give birth, in your opinion, or?
The best way to give birth, in my opinion, is in whatever way the woman feels is best for her. I've worked with women who get the medication, who have unmedicated birth. I've been in the room with women who have had a cesarean birth. And really my goal is to make them feel, again, empowered to make their own choices and to stand up for what feels right for them and their baby.
What about a birth doula? What are the benefits?
There's so many benefits. What we do is we provide physiological and emotional support to the mother. So we don't do anything medical, but, you know, I'm there rubbing the mom's back, and I'm doing hypnosis. I have my essential oils, you know, and supporting the birth companion as well, because often they're overwhelmed and freaking out. So I'm there to make, again, the emotional aspect of it more gentle and more peaceful.
Yeah, I think that person really gets the abuse, because I just remember going in telling my husband 3 things. Do not tell me one of them being, it's okay.
Yeah, or just
you
breathe.
can do this. Just breathe. Said, no, you're not doing that.
Right.
Meditation, real quick before we go. How can we practice some of those meditation moments?
Yes, so sprinkle them throughout the day because it's almost impossible to sit down for 30 minutes, even 5 minutes. So when your child gives you one of those sweet hugs, really feel into that. When you have that first sip of coffee, feel the warm liquid going down, notice your mind waking up, and that'll bring more presence and enjoyment into your day.
And I love too, I mean, it's Feng Shui, so I love clearing the clutter out.
Yes.
And getting rid of that, which is kind of hard when your kids get a little bit older because they have lots of toys sitting around. All right.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much. This has all been so interesting. Thank you. I feel calm already.
Okay.
All right. To check out Feng Shui Mommy, just log on to BaileyGaddis.com. Up next, we have a highly anticipated contemporary ballet performance. We'll be right back.